Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me to talk about your new album. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm great, actually. Just came home from work and been to the gym, and now I'm sweating. It's hot here in Oslo.
So yeah, how has your summer been actually so far? I noticed that you didn't have any festivals planned for June and July at least, but have you been doing some other things?
I've been doing a lot of things actually, but we didn't get any gigs because everything was fully booked, naturally, after the COVID situation. So we ended up doing gigs from April into May, and then we had a release, and then there was nothing, which is a shame. But it came pretty naturally because we tried to get gigs over the summer and festivals, but everything was basically fully booked, and we had to say no to a couple of things. So there was not much music so far this summer, but a lot of free time, a lot of
Yeah.
sun and beer, and go to festivals, but not playing, which is nice, actually.
Yeah, I guess as a musician, you don't really get to see any bands when you're playing on a festival yourself.
No, just to see from the stage or from the backstage or wherever. But now I've been seeing a couple of bands this summer, so that's been really nice,
Has there been any performance that you really particularly enjoyed?
Yeah, I really liked the Helicopters 2 weeks ago at Tons of Rock here in Oslo. That was amazing, and also Backstreet Girls, a band from Oslo, old, good old rock and roll. First time I saw them, and that was really
All right, cool. I haven't heard about them, but a cool name. But yeah.
good.
Anyway, so you released your new album, Venomous Anonymous, about a month ago or so. How is the experience with releasing the album, and have you heard a lot of feedback already?
Oh yeah, it's been amazing. It's been so good. The feedback's been, I mean, 99% positive and beyond. It's been amazing actually. We had no expectations. We didn't care what people would think about it because we worked with it for almost 2 years and we were in love with the album already a year ago. So we had like, yeah, if people like it, they like it. But it seems like people really love it, which makes me happy.
You mentioned that you spent working on it 2 years, so I guess that's pretty much around the time that the pandemic started. Is that the main reason why you started to go back to writing music?
Yes, actually, we started a little before. We started in 2019 actually with some of the songs, and we started getting the feel of what it's going to be like. But then we ended up just writing even more and spending a lot of time for the first time, really spending time with the songs because we knew this won't end like in a day or in a year or whatever. We felt like this will be a long process, and I'm really happy because we did spend a lot of time, me and Lisa, writing the songs and changing it up. And like, if we didn't like it, we just threw it out the window and started with something else, and ended up with 12 fantastic songs, in my opinion. It's only 11 on the album, but we had a bonus track for Japanese fans as well.
Damn, Japan. It's always the same.
Always the same, yeah. And
Yeah.
actually, it wasn't supposed to be there because we didn't record it. Robin recorded the drums, and when me and Lisa went to do the vocals, we didn't have time. We had 11 songs, now we had 10 songs, and we had like two more, and we said, okay, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that, and we ended up with a song called Final Death Roll instead of the bonus track. Eventually became the bonus track. So we were talking to a Japanese uh, label publishing, not a label, but they said we really want to do a Japanese issue of this one, and we said we don't have any bonus tracks, but they said you have to have a bonus track. So we ended up going back into the studio, me and Liz, and just record just that song, and the drums were all made, and Eric mostly mixed it. So in 2 days everything was ready, and we sent it off to the Japanese, and they loved it, so they were really happy.
Yeah, that's good to hear. What sort of a song is it, since I didn't listen to it because obviously it's not released in Europe.
No, no, nobody's heard it. Nobody's heard it. It's one of the most rock and roll songs, I think, on the album, if it ended up on the album. But it will be released a year after the Japanese. It will be available on Spotify and iTunes and shit, so people can hear it. But it's very, very much Face of Jenna sounding. I don't know why, but it ended up with a super rock and rollish. No sleazy vibes, no glam or no metal or anything. Just rock and roll, and I think people will like it.
All right, interesting. Well, maybe I'll check back in a year from now then. But
Yeah, you should. If you like Mace of Jenna, you should definitely check it out because Lizzie wrote most of most of the riffs, and that never happens because I write all the riffs, and he did this more. I don't know, Mace of Jenna meets Cinderella, basically.
that's cool. Yeah, so this was your second album with this band. So usually in the debut album there are always some lessons to be learned, I think, things to do differently. Was there anything that you guys did differently during creating this album?
Yeah, we took the time, as I said earlier, because the first album was like 6 months from start to finish. It was like we really rushed it. We had a meeting with the record label, and then 6 months after we had the master, I think, and we wrote all the songs and recorded. So yeah, but it turned out good. I mean, I liked the first album, but you can hear the difference really, really, really obvious that the first one is like 10 fast songs, punk rock, and it fits really good to the sound. But this album is way bigger, and production wise, it's we had to take more time and be more diverse in the sound. So yeah, that's what we learned basically.
What sort of approach do you think is works for you the best? Is it like did you enjoy maybe a bit the more spontaneity of the first album, or do you feel like the calculated approach is better for you as a musician?
Oh, I think both are really good because sometimes you write a song in a day and it's done, and sometimes you spend weeks on the same song. So I would say I think we will take the time on the next album as well because in a perfect world we would have the next album ready for next summer because we waited so long with the second one. But we have started writing, but yeah, it's still summer and we're have nothing to do and we're enjoying it for a while. I think maybe Christian and Robin is a little stressed out. They want to go out and play, but I'm having a good time. And Lizzie got his kid, so I think we're gonna take it slow. But you never know what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
We might have an album by the end of this year if everything goes well.
Do you feel like if you spend a lot of more time on the record, you also mentioned that you sort of went more back and forth to the songs and maybe left out some songs if they weren't good enough. What do you think the No Sign of Relief would look like if you had the same approach? Would it still be the same album, you think?
Oh shit! A hard question. No, I don't think so because it was like in the moment, very in the moment, and the songs came together pretty quickly. And that's what I like about it. And you can almost hear it because all of the songs are fast paced, up tempo. I mean, punk feel. So I don't think we would have that energy if we had taken the longer time. And as a first album, I think it's perfect with the punk rock and like 2.5 minute songs, all of them. It's like I think the album is 30 minutes or something. So we added 6 more minutes to this album. We
Wow.
really do. We like the short songs because if there's something unnecessary, it doesn't have to be there, and we like cut it off. And
Yeah.
also Eric Mortensen, the producer of the new album, he was like, "This is shit. This is really good. Two times of this. Take this away." So he was really like cutting it down, making it like more not mainstream, but easier to listen to. and that's something we really enjoyed working with Eric, because he's like super good with what people want to hear. Because if he loses interest, he would tell me straight away, this has to go. And we're like, what the fuck? It's really good. We do this riff for 6 minutes. So
Is that
that's good.
does that sort of break your heart when he's like say cutting out a passage that you really spent a lot of time on or really, really actually liked? Does that give a lot of
Yeah.
like discussion or something like that?
In the beginning, it was pretty new to both. We have never worked with a producer before, so we were like, "The fuck?" A little offended first, but then we listened to it, and I mean, we really listened to his the point he made and why he was doing it. He was not doing it just because he wanted to like show who's the boss or anything. It was like we really listened to it, and in the song, the title track, "Venomous Anonymous," it was 3 verses, and they were doubled as long as they ended up on the album. And now, in retrospect, I really understand why he did it, because I listened to the demo, which is 2 minutes longer than the song on the album. So if you make a really good point, it's I mean, there's no hard feelings or any discussions. Maybe we talked about stuff, but mostly he really nailed it with unnecessary stuff, and we love everything about it after he was done with it.
Yeah. Why did you decide to work with him in the first place? Is it just because he had done some pretty cool stuff in the past?
Yeah, I've been a big fan of both Eclipse and basically everything Eric's been doing the last, I don't know, 10 years or something. And I always wanted to work with him because of the production and the sound. You can hear if he's been working on a band, even if it's metal or AOR or whatever. So for me, it's like, yeah, a big goal to get to know Eric. He's like one of the nicest guy ever, and he taught me a lot about songwriting and life, basically, because he's really smart as well. So we were supposed to work with him on the first album as well, but they didn't. Our record company did not like the idea, because I don't think they had the visions that we had for the first one, and we ended up with a producer from, no, not a producer, but a technician working for our label. So for the second album, I was really happy, because then we got like, you can do whatever you want, guys, and the budget is not an issue after Peacemaker, which is good. So yeah, I love working with Eric. We will do it in the next album as well.
Now, on social media, you ask your fans what their favorite songs are on the record, and I know that this is usually a hard question, but do you have any songs maybe that are your favorites or meaningful in a way to you?
Oh yeah, there's a couple. I think Casket Case probably is my favorite song on the album, and also Salted It's Sore, the Swedish lyrical song, which is, yeah, it's very special because I had it for so long. I wrote the music years ago and like didn't show it to anybody, and then we were just stuck in the studio, me and Liz, and I played the music, and he said, "What the fuck? This is really good. Should do something about it." And we tried and tried and tried with lyrics, and then he got the bright idea to do a Swedish song, which we never done before, and it ended up on the album, because there's 2 versions. There's one English and one Swedish, and the Swedish one is really, really good and special to both of us, I think.
I was gonna ask about the Swedish song because obviously it's the first time you guys did one. Is that something you would like to experiment a little bit more with? Because I guess in your genre, it's mostly, the language is English, sort of. I don't think I've heard much of this genre in Swedish, at least.
No, that's true. I don't think there is any songs. I mean, there is rock and roll in Swedish and Norwegian as well. We got lots of good bands here in Norway, Kvelertak and Good, the Bad, and Ugly, who sings in Norwegian. But that's more, I mean, they're playing metal or hardcore or whatever, and it suits really good. But in the sleaze rock or what do you call it? It's very rare to have a Swedish song. We talked about it actually, me and Lizzie, last couple of weeks. We've been saying like maybe we should do an all Swedish album for the next one, and we were just laughing about it. But he said, I mean, we should have one more. So we don't know really what it's if it's going to be one more, but we'll see. Maybe we continue and do another Swedish song, and then that becomes our trademark or whatever. Because people really seem to enjoy it and like it, even if they're American or Japanese or whatever. I'm getting beginning questions from like fans all over the world asking what's the meaning, and some say like, I don't care about the meaning. It's a good song anyway, so it's
Yeah, I
great.
was gonna ask you what it is about for fans who don't speak Swedish.
It's if you directly transpose the lyrics, it's salt in your wounds, like like an old. It's like a saying in Swedish. It doesn't work as good in English. That's why we ended up with Swedish. So, but like salt in your wounds, maybe pain in your ass or whatever. It's like uh, the root of your pain was the title on the English demo. If that makes any sense. So that's like, yeah, maybe I don't know, but the meaning is like different for everyone. As Lizzie wrote the lyrics, so he has probably got a meaning for himself, and I got a meaning, and that's the beauty with the songs. Now it's really hard because it's only Swedish people who understands it and gets a meaning about it. But you get a feeling of the song anyway. It's I mean it's melancholy. It's a little sad song, but still bright and up tempo, which I love the contrast.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's also interesting that vocally it sounds like a different person almost, just because you're not really used, I guess, to hear him sing in Swedish.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool, I think, that sort of a
It
effect.
sounds like Liz is like sounds like he's 17 years old or something. A lot younger when he speaks in Swedish, which is fascinating.
Now, you mentioned before that you had replaced the bonus track by Final Death Roll, and at least that was my personal favorite of the record. But I was wondering if there's any special thing you can say about that song musically, for instance, like how did it come to be?
Final Death Row. Yeah, we called it actually we called it the Finnish one because it sounded like some Finnish type of dark metal in the beginning because I wrote like the intro and the main riff. So we were like we always have these stupid names for the songs when we don't have any lyrics on them. So this was the Finnish one, and Christian was like, "Oh, I love this! It fucking sounds like a Finnish metal." And after that, we worked really hard on the verse and the pre-chorus because this is like rapping, you know. It's also pretty new. They sings really fast, and we have to change up the words a lot on the verse because we get everything to fit. So it was really fun writing the song, and we ended up with almost a finished song when we entered the studio, and Eric actually wrote the chorus on the spot like this because we didn't have a chorus, and Eric was like, "Okay, let's do a Bon Jovi here," and that's what he meant with halfway there thing in the chorus. And he just stood up and screamed into the microphone like 10 times, and we have the biggest chorus ever. I was like, what the fuck? And listen, we were like, oh, instant love. And then Lisa wrote the rest of the chorus together with Eric, and they like maybe an hour or something, and then the song was done. And also love it. Really good song.
Yeah. Do you have any other cool working titles for songs that you can talk about?
Oh shit, it's mostly it's mostly really weird shit. And maybe a lot of uh childish childish stuff that I can't take care maybe. But yeah, we have this. I don't know. We have. Let's see if I can remember any of the working titles. Uh, oh, I can't remember top of my head. Now there are like now the songs have their names, so I forget about the working titles, which is good because it's some nonsense.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, The ending of the album was also quite surprising because a lot of bands in your genre usually end on ballads and stuff like that, but this song is it's quite, it ends with a bang. Was that sort of intentional?
Yes and no, because we had a discussion about the track list, the songs, and we were discussing a long time because we wanted dynamic, to start with repercussion and get people like straight into a fast song with a big hook. And then we ended up with the title track, the second one, and then single, and it just ended up that way. And after the only ballad, no, the second ballad, Bad Vibes, we thought now we really need to end on a high note. So those two last songs we couldn't really decide. So we had, I think it was Christian who had City of Lies. Like we end with this one because it's like epic and it doesn't really sound like anything we've done before. So hopefully people will be like, yeah, fuck yeah, after that song and go back and do the whole album over again. So
Yeah.
what's thoughts about it?
Well, you already mentioned that it's been quite tricky to book any shows during summer, but do you have any other like touring plans in the works?
Yes, now we're mostly focusing on September, October, and like second part of the year, like the fall, is going to be where we go out and sell the album and promote it because I think we got the vinyls yesterday because of the delays, and that's why also we didn't do any release show or had anything booked because we want the CD and the vinyls, and now we got it, so now we can really start focusing on getting the shows stuff. We are actually talking about we got what do we got? We're playing with Skid Row in Switzerland, November. We got Rock the Boat from Oslo to Copenhagen, together with Catalano from Australia. They're flying in again. They haven't been here for 4 years or something. And then we're doing Copenhagen as well, and maybe Finland if everything goes as planned. Really, really hope so. And then kind of Scandinavia weekends for fall and winter. That's
Yeah.
the plan right now.
How much are you looking forward to it?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm so ready. The thing is now Robin is now we were supposed to play on Saturday. No, not supposed, but we got asked to play a headline show in Belgium. But Robin has injured his knees, so he's on crutches for 3 more weeks at least. So we haven't seen each other since Wildfest back in May. So we better start rehearsing first. But yeah, we really like as Robin is in Sweden and we are all in Oslo, so we never rehearse anyway. But now we were thinking let's try this summer to really rehearse before the shows, see where we end up. So yeah, we're really excited and looking forward to it.
Have you already had the chance to play some of the new songs live, or has that not happened yet?
Yes, we started with Kerosene in Helsinki. Was that April, late April? Just like a couple of days after release Kerosene as a single, we did it in on the rocks in Helsinki, and I think that song maybe got one of the biggest, like loudest welcoming, except for the hits and the old stuff. But people really seem to like Kerosene when we played it, and we've been doing Repercussion and Sunrise of Sunset. We've been doing those in April and May on all the shows, and fantastic songs to play live. It's been really nice after 2 years, like listening to it and not playing it, and then be able to play it and people know the lyrics. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I presume that once you can tour in the autumn, you will also play more new songs live. So do you have any songs you're particularly looking forward to play live that you haven't played live yet?
Oh yeah, I think we maybe we wanted to do the full album, but we have to do old songs as well. So we're working on a set list now. If we do like a headline show or more than an hour, we're gonna squeeze in Salto del Sor. So that's gonna be interesting, and we're gonna do Final Death Roll and Venomous Anonymous. So those three songs are definitely going in the set list. Then we'll see if we can change some of the old ones we've been playing for so long now. But I would like to do Zero Lies as well. Would be, I think it would be a great song live.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, something to look forward to, but I think, yeah, I'm gonna let you go to your next interview. So, do you have any
Yeah.
last thoughts you want to share with your fans?
Just play the album and buy it if you like it, and come see us whenever, wherever we play, and we'll have a good time. Drink a lot of beer and get fucked.